Welcome to Alkebulan TV, your number one Pan-African TV that gives you insights in trade, culture, tourism, and agriculture. Today, you are with your host, Katana Joshua. Welcome to today's episode.
Alkebulan TV, Africa to the world.
Today, I am with Mr. Kazibwe Moses. He's a very esteemed man and he's an expert in plantation of the Guatemala. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Joshua. Dear viewers, thank you for watching us. We are privileged to have you getting knowledge about the plant called Guatemala. Guatemala is an animal feed plant which is in the form of napier, like the many napier types you know. It is actually grown well in our environment in Uganda. Basically, it loves cool areas for it to be produce more plants. Yes.
Thank you so much for that insight about the plant. And my first question goes to the ecological and agricultural benefits. Like, what are the key ecological and agricultural benefits of this plant? Like, how does it support sustainable farming practices?
Thank you, Joshua. Now, one thing you should know, maybe also other farmers all over the world, that the other napiers that we have, one plant cannot satisfy a cow or even a goat. So we realized that there is need of satisfying this field of having enough food for our animals as a country and the world at large. When you look at the Guatemala plant, initially, in fact, if you have one plant, you are able to feed more than 4 mature animals a day. That is, if a Guatemala plant is well looked after. It will grow big and it satisfies 4 animals. So for this case, we decided to start having this plant in our farm in Gomba, where you have visited, and we encourage also other farmers that for us it has taken us between 1 to 2 years to have seeds, the cuttings, the seeds for other farmers. We are now able to give to other farmers the same seeds for them also to try it out and see how it works.
Okay, now you've spent some time planting this. I would like you to explain to me, like, what are the requirements to plant the Guatemala? Like, how easy is it for farmers to grow it?
Yes, of course, the first requirement is for you to have land. You must have land, and then you must have the plants, the seeds. So once you have those two, you can start.
Now, you explained a bit of it in the first place, but I'm looking at the nutritional value for the livestock. What makes it stand out from all these other grasses that we know of locally?
Now, what beats the other grass we have locally? You see, in Uganda, we have a habit of having so big land. For example, 5-10 square miles. And at the end of the day, when you ask the farmer, how much animals do you graze on 10 square miles? The man will say 1,000, maybe 2,000 animals. For this plant, once you have it in place, as I said before, you are able to feed 4 animals on one plant. So what does this mean? You can even have 6,000 animals versus 10 acres. If you have 10 acres, you are able to feed 6,000 animals on a small piece of land. In fact, when you look at the nutrients that are in Guatemala, you can even find it everywhere. On Google, you can search about it. It will give you 50% extra of the milk that you are producing today from your animals. What does this mean? Even if we are fattening, you are doing fattening of animals. If you come and look at my animals at the farm, they look so nice. Once you feed them Guatemala in 1 or 2, 3 weeks, you will see there is a big change than grazing on our normal feed. Yes.
Tell me about how long this plant grows.
The period that takes to grow.
Yeah.
Guatemala takes between 1 month to 3 months to reach a time of harvest. That is when you plant and give it enough watering, because it needs water. So after that, when you start harvesting, you don't need again to have water on standby. But when it is still young, it needs both water and you balance. But after it has catch up and you reach the extent of harvesting, you don't need that too much water in it. Yes, it will be actually sustaining by itself. Yes.
Okay, I read somewhere that if you let it live longer, its roots grasp so deep that it becomes stronger.
Yeah, it becomes stronger. Yes, yeah, that is true.
Okay.
And in fact, the seeds are in the form of sugarcane seeds.
Oh yeah.
I think you know sugarcane. The way we cut sugarcane.
Yes.
And actually, the more it grows stronger, the more it grows older, the more it gives you more seeds. Yes, you can have 30 seeds from one plant, one stick like this. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm looking at this from the point of a farmer. If I wanted to plant the Guatemala, where will I get these seeds? Because I may be someone who has never heard of it.
Now for example, this Guatemala actually has been here for many years, hundreds and thousands of years. But now, what happened, as I was growing up, some rich families in Uganda had animals for milk. So they would have half an acre, 20 plants, of which they used to feed on what? Guatemala. Now, as I was moving somewhere in the forest in Maokota, I realized that the plant, I saw something in the forest which looked like Guatemala. So what I did, I stopped my driver. First stop. When the guy stopped, we picked only three cuttings from that plant. I took them to Gomba, where my farm is. So we started with 3, but imagine today we have 31 acres. What does this mean? It needs consistency, It needs consistency, well taken care of, like any other plant. It doesn't want weed around it. You have to keep weeding, etc. So basically, now for us, we are ready. We can have even seeds for other farmers, as like you are saying. We can have seeds for other farmers, and as of now, we can even supply 1 billion seeds for other farmers. Yes, out there. Yes.
What economic impact am I assured to have? Like, is it really yielding? Is there money?
Yeah, because now when you look at it, if you are to do silage, in an acre you can get up to 40 tons of silage from 1 acre of Guatemala. What does this mean? The bigger it grows, the more food it gives. So definitely, if you are serving, for example, 20 kilos of silage per animal, and you have 40 tons out of 1 acre, so it really, compared to what we have today, it is an amazing plant. Yes.
One other thing I've learned from you is that if you can make silage out of it, then the loss is less.
Yeah, the loss is less, yes.
Yeah.
Than serving fresh.
Yeah.
But we would emphasize, if you have many acres, say 100 or 150, why not? Maybe you decide to serve 50 in green pasture, and then the other one comes as silage.
Okay. Are there problems that you have faced while in Guatemala plantation, like challenges?
Mr. Joshua, you see, all what we do in life, as long as you are living, there must be a challenge. It is a plant like these other normal plants, but of course, for me, the time I've been taking good care of it, I haven't seen any disease that attacks it, unless if you plant it near this GMO maize. You know, GMO maize attracts insects so much. So I tried to plant a GMO maize, and near the Guatemala small piece, I found those caterpillars were passing by. So I realized that because of what? When we harvested the maize, this thing went, and after spraying, that's only a small portion. We don't have too much challenges. Doesn't need a lot of doesn't consume a lot of pesticides or what, but yeah, it is a good plant here, because as you could see the pictures of our farm, there's no any pest you see on the plant. They look so nice. Yeah, it's amazing. Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Kazibwe,
Yes.
this idea of Guatemala is very nice, and I like it. But then our culture sometimes as Africans, you may get to learn about something, and then you try to implement it, and if it doesn't work out, someone can come back complaining that, oh, this didn't work out for me. So how did you work it out to start from 3 plants to how big you've gotten currently?
Now, in fact, I've been telling people before and onwards, I'll be telling people that it needs hands-on than calling someone at the farm, please, I've sent you a sack of Guatemala, and then you guys plant it. In fact, I had given it another name, that Guatemala hands-on Kaziwe. You know why? Because here I had to put my name there. If you don't put hands-on, if you don't yourself, I don't mean those who have money, you can send, but you must be there. Hands-on doesn't mean you have to touch one, but you have to be there for it for you to yield something. So I've been there from 3 to what I have today. I've been going, I've been doing myself with the workers. So that is why I managed to achieve it that way. And in fact, I have given more than 5 friends 10 free seeds, but for the whole last year, I have not seen that, wow, your plant is doing well. When I try to call them, they say, oh my God, mine died. What, 10. Here I started with 3. Here I have 31 acres. So those with 10, they can't even do more 10 plants. So I know. One has to be committed. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Committed to it. Yeah, you keep checking on it. Is it doing well? What is the reason? Like any other plant. Yeah, but it is a simple thing. To me, it is a simple thing to do. Yes.
Okay. Now, I believe you are one of the biggest Guatemala growers, probably in Africa. What can you tell to a farmer out there about Guatemala plantation in this generation?
In fact, we are in a generation which is increasing numbers so quickly all over the world, and intelligent people more than our time. I think if one is committed, even a young man like you, if you have, say, your dad has given you 2 acres of land, and you use a quarter an acre, half an acre to have 4 or 5 animals, the rest you plant Guatemala within a short time, than waiting for the job that you have never put in place. You see, everyone that goes to school is eyeing at a job somewhere, which is really going to be not easy for them. I would emphasize, if one can have an acre of Guatemala, you start small, start with the little plants, and then you will change your life later. So if you have an acre of Guatemala, you can have sure deal of 5 to 10 milk cows. you can take care of them throughout the year without suffering, as long as you make silage out of it. Another thing, you talk about values now from this plant. To me, I think if all farmers wake up and have this same vision, at least to have some acreage of this plant than having a square mile of land with a very few animals. Even if you have boran or girlando or something like that, you can still have them, contain them within a small space and feed them with silage, and you are good to go. So I emphasize that all farmers should think of having an extra feed to what they have. It's the only way that we can maybe, when I just started my goats farm in Gomba, I was pushing so hard to have so many goats. I started with 100. Time came, I had 800 goats. Then we were pushing them to go and eat in the bush on a square mile. But they are not satisfied. They don't get satisfied even on eating, grazing on a square mile. So I realized later that the issue is the feed. Then I reduced the number. I think now I have like 200. But since now my Guatemala is now producing feed, I can now go up to 10,000 or 20,000 goats, because goats eat very little food. So what does this mean? If a country like Uganda is given a contract, always people contact us from Dubai, those Arabic countries, they want meat, goat meat, they want sheep meat, but we don't have the capacity to supply even 1,000 sheep a month. Even 1 year you fail. But if one farmer has 10,000 sheep or goats, I've seen some people in Kenya, they have it, but for them they went ahead earlier. They are doing silage. They use silage to feed their animals. Yeah, I think if we don't stop at seeing this video and say, okay, that video has passed, these things of going into other things that we don't understand. You put 1,000 today for something that is happening in the UK, and then you get more money, or blah blah blah, and waste most of our time in doing agriculture of this nature. We will change this country and Africa's at large. Yeah, we are supposed to be the food basket for the whole world because of the environment and fertile soil we have, where you don't need a lot of fertilizer, whatever.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kazibwe, for that insight.
Thank you too.
And please, our online viewers, please keep tuned. I hope you can take action steps, and I want to believe that the Guatemala plant is the future of livestock feeding tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us today at Alkebulan TV, your #1 Pan-African TV. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to check out our website at Alkebulan TV Africa, our application on both App Store and Play Store, and all our social media as Alkebulan TV Africa. Join us in the next video.